ready to go.
Okay, welcome everyone to the September 21st, 2020 ISD 191 Legislative Committee meeting. Welcome anyone who is watching from home, and we joined today by my fellow board member Eric Miller and Dr. Teresa Battle, Lisa Ryder, and Aaron Tinklenberg. Our committee chair Jen Holweger is still unavailable today, and I think we'll get started. Dr. Battle.
Great. So the one agenda item is in response to a request from committee members for Lisa Ryder and I to follow up to get more information about using any sales proceeds, such as from our sale of property, of a transfer to the general fund rather than having it reside in debt redemption. And so we consulted with Senator Greg Clausen, and so I do have that information. He first gave us the reference to the Minnesota statute 123B.51 subdivision 6, which gives explicit permission for proceeds of sale or exchange. He also gave an example that was passed, was it last session? They've had so many sessions, I'm not sure. So the last regular, not a special session, I think. Ogilvie School District did a similar transfer. And so he walked us through the process. He said it's really important for us to have one of our local representatives, legislatures sponsor the bill. And so he advised that we wait until after the November election, meet with those local representatives, find author of the bill, and then the author for the House and for the Senate, they would actually introduce the bill. There's a team at the legislature that gives support for ensuring that the bill is in the proper legal form. Then in January, after they introduce it at the legislature, it would go to the E12 Education Committee, and that's there. We would make a presentation to that committee, and it would be me, a board member, and basically we need to explain why we're making the request, where the money came from, and how we expect to use the money if they grant our request. Then the E12 committee would recommend approval or non-approval. And then if they recommend approval, then it would go on to a second reading and a third reading. And then hopefully both the House and the Senate agree on the same bill. If they do change anything, then it goes to a conference committee. And then they have to work it out in the conference committee. But then if everything is the same in the House and Senate after the 3 readings, then it goes to the vote, and then it goes to the governor for signature. So that, did I miss anything, Lisa, in his, and so less is more. The Ogilvie example, I think I shared it at the last committee meeting. It was really simple. It was a dollar amount. You don't list properties, just a dollar amount. There was no sunset date. Anything else, Lisa? Unmute yourself.
You captured everything I recall. I was looking at my notes as you were talking.
So any questions?
I just want to double check. I think this came up in the last meeting, but we could get the legislation kind of pushed through. I think you said this even just now, pushed through, even if we don't know yet exactly which property or properties are being sold and how much they are being sold for. Like we could just get a general blanket approval to use whatever funds we would get from whatever sales of properties may or may not happen. Is that correct?
So at the committee hearing, they may ask us those questions. So then we would tell them that we're expecting this, the amount of proceeds from the sale of these properties or property. So at the committee, I think is when you have to get the specific information, but the bill itself is pretty straightforward.
Got it. Thank you. Any other questions? Well, Eric is shaking his head, so I guess nothing else for that.
So Thursday at the board meeting, I'll be sharing the same information. So if you think of any other questions, there'll be an opportunity there.
Sounds good. Thank you.
Mhm.
Was that the whole
I
agenda?
think that's the only agenda. I think the next one after,
Oh, there is one more thing in
Oh, yes.
board book.
yes, the
Review the list of
invitation.
local
Remember,
candidates.
we wanted legislatures to come to the committee? I think that's the next one. I'm sorry.
No, I just double checked. Yep.
So we have the list of all the candidates running. The invitation is ready to go out. You think it's okay?
Do we need to review the actual invitation or just like
If you,
this would be for the meeting, the October meeting, I assume.
yes, and I can read it
So that
to
it would be
you.
before the election.
Yeah. So what it was trying to get everybody's name for all the races.
Right.
Yeah. So,
Just the state races, not like Congress and the Senate
Right.
races.
right,
Right.
just our state races. Mhm. Yeah, pretty straightforward. I think it's just the message about what the purpose of this legislative committee is and our desire to let them know about who we are as 191, and then giving them the times when they're available to come in.
Okay,
meet with
great.
us. Okay. Pretty similar to what we did last year. It's not very different. Same
Mhm.
similar when we had a few, in fact, Sandy Mason and Greg Clausen were two that
Right.
came.
Elise Mann and Hunter Cantrell came to a meeting
Yes.
last year also, right?
Yep, so pretty similar. Get
Okay.
it on their
Super.
calendars.
That'll be a crowded meeting if they're all able to come, but that will be a good thing.
Mhm. All right, those are the
All
two
right.
agenda items. So I think that was follow up from the request from the previous committees.
Okay. Well, if there's nothing else, then we can adjourn at 5:07 p.m. Very short meeting tonight.
All right, thanks. Have a
Thanks,
good night.
everyone. Yep. Bye.